These Instagram Reels have been generating millions of views every day, and they all share the same secret. It consists of 5 easy-to-follow steps that can help anyone make viral Reels. To better understand them, we will cover this Instagram Reel from Zach Pogrob.
Without joy.
Now, Zach has generated 1.4 million followers with hundreds of videos, and if we would want to make videos like him, we would need to follow these 5 steps, with the first being color management. This reel uses a straightforward principle that involves a black background and the main animation that is usually in one color. The black background works as a neutral canvas, which leaves all the attention to the animation. Now, our eyes are locked in on the story, and in combination with some visual effects, which we will cover later in the video, this can be a very effective strategy for a high retention rate reel. However, you will need a great story to even start with the editing, which leads us to writing the script. Think of writing the script like each sentence is one scene. While you're writing, try to visualize how that scene should look like. For example, the goal is to turn your life into one big art project. It can be animated like this, or even like this. This all depends on how you visualize it while writing a script. But you need to understand that this part is crucial. If you visualize it the first way, you'll write the script having in mind what the first scene will look like. Then, based on that, your script will follow the animation. Sending the message is the key. And if the story is not in correlation with the animation, you won't achieve the main goal. To increase the rate of success even more, a proper voiceover with the right timing can also play a crucial role in how successful your reel will be. This is what I like to call the lazy way, and it involves ChatGPT. After you generate a script from ChatGPT, you can turn this script into a 5-scene reel. While this is also a possible way of writing a script, it can sound a bit generic. From my experience, if you invest time and money into animations, invest time in writing the script first. When it comes to creating an animation, you can use the software you prefer, but in my case, I'll use After Effects. First, we need to create a new composition. Set width to 1080 pixel and height to 1920 pixel. Then below, you can change the frames per second to 24 as an industry standard. For the background color, make sure that it is black. For the first scene, we need to create this clock animation. Select a shape tool and create a circle. The stroke should be 14 pixels. Then select a pen tool and draw lines that represent hours. Finally, draw the hour and minute hands and make sure that their anchor points are in the middle of the clock. Now we can animate them by creating in and out keyframes for rotation. You can decide how much they will turn, but make sure that the hour hand is not going faster than the minute hand. To finish this part, pre-compose every layer except the border, and then at around 1 second mark, create an in and out keyframe for opacity. Now you can pre-compose these 2 layers and add a zoom in effect. By creating an in and out keyframes for scale, where the first holds 0 value, you will achieve the same effect. For a better look, I'm going to adjust the curve on the graph. Now I'm going to draw a check mark inside the composition, and then in Contents, Shape and Stroke, you can select a round cap. And then in Add, select round corners. And then increase the radius to 21. To animate the check mark, select in and out keyframes for the end trim pads. Beginning keyframe holds a 0 value, while the end is 100. Now we made a clock animation, which you can copy and paste to finish the scene off. For the corner clock, we are going to remove the check mark and create a smaller circle. And trim pads, I'll set the start to 40 and the end to 61. Then animate the start so it goes from 40 to 61. And you will achieve the same effect. Finally, in Effects and Presets, find the glow. And then set the glow threshold to 100 and the radius to 51. For the next scene, we are going to create and animate this calendar. Using a pen tool, I'll draw a line. Then for end trim paths, I'll create in and out keyframes. And then turn them into easy ease by pressing F9 on the keyboard. Now that we made this line animation, you can simply copy this layer and paste it multiple times. And by positioning them properly, you'll have your calendar animation prepared for the next step. Also, when you copy these layers, make sure that they start a couple of frames earlier or later than previous layer. Create a rectangle so it fits properly. Then adjust the anchor point so it is in the top right corner. This will help you later create a rotation animation that Zach made in his reel. Now create in and out keyframes for opacity where the in will have a 0 value. And then add multiple keyframes with either 30% or 100% values, which will create this flickering effect. Then in Effects and Presets find Glow again and apply it 2 times on the layer. For the first, increase the radius to 35, and for the second glow, increase the radius to 43. To finish this off, create 3 keyframes for rotation. The first will have 0 degrees value, the second, for example, minus 37, and the final minus 5. This final rotation keyframe should also be in correlation with the position keyframe, which will bring this rectangle out of the frame. And now, after we made this animation, you can simply copy it as many times as you need. As a final touch to this animation, you can go to Effects and Presets and find the CC Vignette effect and apply it on an adjustment layer that will be positioned above the calendar layer. Choosing the right font can also play a crucial part in the likelihood of the reel going viral. For example, in the video, we can see that the font is clean and not tacky. I tried to find a similar font that Zach used, and I found it on Envato Elements, and it's called Monoglyphic. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link in the description. Now when we find a suitable font, we can move on to the text placement. If we draw lines over the video and divide it into 9 pieces, we can see a pattern. In the middle part we have an animation. And just above the middle part, we'll see where the text is placed. Now you can use this principle when you start making your own reel. And finally we have sound effects. These reels do not use music in the background and mostly rely on follow-up sound effects. This is because the focus is on sending the message and not distracting the viewer with loud music. These are some sound effects that you will mostly need when editing. Envato has a great feature where you can select a category of sound effects, and I mostly use the transition and movement section. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure that you hit like and subscribe. If you want to check out more, you can click on this playlist. Until the next time, bye!